how I started learning to choose myself without guilt. And for a lot of people, a lot of women, that's a hard one because there is so much. If you are raised in the Christian community, or, let's go nowadays, any religion, there's so much emphasis put on your chastity, your your sexual energy. They prey on it, yet they despise you for it too. All right, so how I learned to choose myself first without guilt. Oh, this is a doozy right here. This story. All right, so I had broken up with my ex, and I had nowhere to go. And I begged my mother. You know, I don't have anywhere to go. I need somewhere. Can I stay with you? And we get on the road. So we go to Alabama. Right there. Everybody out here in this bitch today. God damn. So we drive. I get to Alabama. And I'm living with one of my aunts. And I felt like it was one of the moments where out of the frying pan and into the fire type situations. Because, like, first off, if when you go through a traumatic situation like an abusive relationship and you're trying to get out or you've gotten out, people don't understand that there is a psychological process to healing, or at least bringing it down. We don't know how long that's going to take. It might take months, it might take years, it might take days, who knows? But it took me a while to get outside of my mind, outside of who I was, to become who I am now. And a lot of people are not going to be sympathetic to that journey. A lot of people are not going to respect that journey. A lot of people are going to tell you to get over it. Why are you complaining about it? Why are you whining about it? But you got to get it out. And you have to, I feel like you need to surround yourself when you come into those situations where you're trying to heal or you're trying to uplift yourself. You got to surround yourself with people who are mentally prepared to handle the fallout of you, okay? Because you will crash out, all right? And that's okay, as long as you know how to get up when you crash out. So it was me and my son at the time, and again, emotional wreck. I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to, like, hey, thank you, I appreciate you allowing me to stay at your place, all of that. And she starts picking. She says she's going to help me with certain things. She reneges. She says, she starts leaving notes around. And here's the thing, I'm not a very messy person, and I try not to be, or try. The way she handled us, she was dead wrong. And as a a so-called spiritual person, or someone who goes to church, or someone who, and the religion that she's in, not even, all right? I'm not even gonna go there. But she starts leaving notes around the house. She starts picking. She starts being rude and disrespectful. She's, I'm trying to save money, and she's like, "Oh, why do you have to cook? Do you have to cook every day? Do you have to cook?" And I would say, okay, do you wanna? I enjoy cooking. Like, do like certain types of cooking so that we can all enjoy something together? No. uh, Sunday is only for, going out to eat. And where she lives, or where we live, is an area where a lot of people on Sunday, they go out to eat. I'm sorry, like, and at that time I was trying to get fit as well, and trying to cleanse my body and working out, and I was just on self-improvement. And hey, it's me. I'm going to be in and out throughout this message to clarify certain things. Uh, I was just trying to get myself together. I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like I was in a self-improvement stage, but I was walking blind. I was in the dark. So I did the best that I could do. Getting my son into school, stabilizing that. She said she would help me with my son. Reneged on that too. Imagine living in the same house with somebody, and they go to work, or they say that they're going to help you, and then they just said, "Well, I got to go to work. I can't do that." Like, fugazi, backtrack. But when it comes time for me to help you out, and I'm like, water the plants, mow the lawn, wash the dishes, clean this out, clean that out, take out the trash, go to meetings, go to this convention, go to that convention, help these people do these things. She let me borrow her car. No problem. No problem. And there was stuff that was broken on it. This all has a point. All right. This is how I don't feel guilty for, uh, looking out for myself, or protecting myself no more, or not being a people pleasers because of her. This situation right here. So she let me borrow her car. The car has problems. The car has issues. Fine. Go. I get it fixed. I do what I need to do to have it keep it running. But the car old, raggedy. The car was so old, it was falling apart. Literally, you go to open the door handle breaks every time. Like, it was an impossible situation. And every time I ask or tell her, "Hey, there's something wrong. There's something more going on with this car. I don't know what it is." And she's like, "I don't know. I don't know." When people say they don't know, and you know that they do know just by the answer that they give you, that's the answer she was giving. I don't know. Maybe you should go get it looked at. Maybe you should go get it checked out. I don't know. Maybe you should go get it looked at. Maybe you should go get it checked out. So I'm there. I put like a $2,000 into this old ass car, trying to be respectful. That's another thing. As you go along this journey, you got to realize that some of these adults, some of these so-called mature people, they need to get checked too. So don't be afraid of, when you see wrong, to correct that shit. Trying to leave things better than they were. Okay? At a certain point, she's like, "Oh, you need to get a car. You need to get a car. You need to get a car. You need to get a car." So, like, no problem. No problem. Because in my mind, was people start, saying that You got 2, 3 cars, you got 2 vehicles, and you're only using one. No problem. I would get my own vehicle. Got my own vehicle. Shocked her. She was shocked. She was triggered. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know that you were gonna get a vehicle." Well, you kept on complaining about me using your vehicle and fixing your vehicle. And your vehicle is just gonna keep on breaking down. I just decided to get my own. So I do that. Piss her off. Then she starts coming. She starts coming in the house slamming stuff. For what? I don't know. I'm a homebody. I'm a room body. I'm mind my own business. Go through my own trauma body. Okay, that's what I was doing. Mind you, I'm still going to meetings. I'm doing everything in my power, like helping my son with his homework. Dropping him off at daycare, picking him up. He's taking the school bus by himself. I don't even know how I made it through that time. That was such him being independent was so scary for me at the time. So I'm doing the damn thing. Going to school, going to meetings, just doing, constantly doing. Anything she asked, I did. I feel like in families, especially Caribbean families, that there is a lack of communication or knowing how to communicate because there's so much shame built up on past events, past scenarios, past childhood trauma, and sometimes there's even envy built up as well because basically they fought or they worked or whatever they did to have the life that we have now, but they can't realize it, or some of them don't realize it. A lot of these older Caribbean parents, I feel like they are starting to come to terms with the fact that they are no longer capable of just understanding how far technology has come, how advanced we are, and how open to communication about certain things that are no longer taboo. So I feel like there was a very big communication gap when it came to myself and her. So she starts picking. I come in one day and she's talking on the phone to one of her daughters, one of my cousins. Oh, she's so ghetto. Alright, so here's a real fun fact about that time and when she started calling me ghetto or going on, she was talking to my mother about my little sister. And if you know my little sister, and if you even know my older sister, you know that all three of us are nothing alike. We are three separate. You would have thought we were raised in three different households. We are nothing alike. So when she came with the ghetto and that's. And I go to her and I say, "Who's ghetto? Who's ghetto in here? Why would you say that? Why are you saying those things? Who's ghetto?" Like my heart, like here I am. I've been going through trauma my whole fucking life. Literally busting my ass, busting my fucking ass off. And you can't even get peace from your family. This is why I distance myself from certain people. A lot of people that I'm like, when I tell you constantly on guard, you know, at times, it's just like, it's whatever you want to show me, bro. It's whatever you want to show me. Actions speak louder than words. So, after that incident, I just made it up in my mind. I said I need to get a place. I stopped saying, poor me, why is this happening to me, why is this, and I started doing things. I started getting things done. I stopped feeling guilty for making my own moves because I feel like she wanted to control my moves so that she can say, yeah, I had to do everything for her. I had to do this for her. And I was capable. I am capable to live. So I go to where I was working at the time, and I asked my district manager for help. And he people where I live is a small community, or at least it was a small town, um, where a lot of people know each other. So I go to my manager, and he helps me get the apartment when I was moving. So now, you know, she comes up to me and she says, well, I need space for my children for when my family comes to visit me. Hey, no problem. So I start getting my stuff in line. I start getting my stuff in order. Trying to move out and trying to, you know, just figure things out. The first attempt, I was going to move in with a friend, and that didn't work out at all because, I don't know, she was. No. The second time is when I had gone to my manager and I needed a place to live, and then I had to get my mother involved. I need somebody to co-sign because, I had no credit cards or anything like that, so I had no, I needed help. They helped me out, they helped me get the apartment. My mother and my sister, mainly my sister, thank you. So it comes time for me to leave. It comes time for me to leave my aunt's house. And I said, okay, even though, like, it wasn't the best experience living at her place, I said in my heart, I said, I'm going to give her a card and say thank you, because she was just, after a little while, she just started trying to go up and up on the rent and keep on complaining about the light and the light bill and this and that, and coming up to me talking about something. Well, I don't leave any documents in the house. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't care about your documents. I'm trying to get myself together. How does me going through your things get myself together? Like, it got so bad that I had gone and bought a book. I had went and bought a book, and I was like, yeah, here's the book that I purchased. She goes in her bookshelf, and because I think it was the same book that she had, she goes and she checks the bookshelf for that same book, and I'm thinking, like, it's there. Why would I want to steal any of your things? Why would I want any of your things? Why would I want your vengeful spirits, your dirty energy to get on me? Why would I want your spirit of jealousy, of trifling, of lies? Why would I want that in all of those things, all of these behaviors that she displayed are infused into the things that she has. Why would I want those things in my life? Like, be careful, people. Like, like your family, be careful, because it could be your own kind too. So it comes to moving day. I got the card. I'm gonna give it to her and thank her for everything that she's done. But I had forgot my son's book bag at the house. I pull up to the house. Mind you, she has a big house. I think it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A four bedroom house. I think so. And I went, and mind you, her son and my son and I were sharing the same room. He had like a bunk bed to himself, and I had like a twin bed to myself. We were in one room this whole time. So I had left some things at the house, and I had left my son's book bag at the house. So I had to go get it because I also switched schools. I also had switched to school. And so I go get his book bag, and I get to the house, and I go to turn the lock, and I push the door, and the door can't open. And I'm thinking, like, what is this? What's going on? So I pushed the door open. You know, she had put a chair in front of the door. She put a chair in front of the door. And all my stuff was in bags, in black bags, in the atrium of this is an upstairs, downstairs house, in the front of the house. And I'm like, okay. So I go into the room that we had occupied. She had changed around everything. Plus, she tried to steal my fan. I don't know what that was about. Like, because I had bought a fan, and put it in the room. Tried to steal my fan. How dare you? So I just took this as my sign. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and get all my stuff, and it's time to do says thank you. And I get my things and I leave. I don't mess with any of her things. I don't touch any of her things. I don't want none of your stuff. I'm not a person who lusts after other people's things. Let's just get that straight. I was so upset that I just went to her job and I found her card, and I put the card that I was going to put in her hand and thank her, and I just put it on the vehicle, and then I left. And I did not contact her. I did not talk to her. I have not, only seen her once, and that's it for me. Like, once you do, this I feel like this was the beginning of me choosing myself in relationships and in friendships and family situations and family dynamics, because I just started coming into a situation where I just kept on giving again. Just like how I gave to my ex, I was giving to my aunt all of my time, all of my resources, all of my energy, and I couldn't pour back into myself. I couldn't pour into my son. I couldn't help us be our most strongest self, because it's just like, people don't really know, but like, the devil be having a grip on some of these folks, real strong, especially them folks in the church who have that self-righteousness of, because I go to church, I now have this authority to, minister to you, or I have more spiritual authority than you do. And they haven't gone through anything. They have not tried to spiritually cleanse or any of that. And this is how I learned to choose myself without feeling guilty, because, people are going to make it seem like you need them or you need to depend on them. And at a certain point, yes, but please be ready to go when the spirit calls you to leave. Please do not argue, do not beg, do not step out of your power to give that person power over you, because that's what they want. In both of the dynamics, they want to have power over you. I don't know what this thing is that where people, their egos get so inflamed that they want to have control over someone else, and you don't realize that the same people that are doing it to you, your people, don't realize that slavery did not work. I know that they're trying to erase it from the textbooks, but it did not work. It did not take. But this new type of slavery that they're enacting and that they're pushing on us, be mindful. Never feel guilty about doing things for your highest good. As long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as you're not trying to force something that's not yours, never feel guilty. Because when you're going through something, or you've gone through something traumatic, people are not going to have compassion for you. I'm sorry to say. They don't care. Alright? Especially if they assume or think that you've had it all already. Especially if you're pretty. Alright? You gotta realize people have pretty privilege up into a certain point. Because once you start getting surrounded by those people who are ugly inside and out, you had everything laid out for you. You've had, like people they don't understand the emotional component to certain things. Again, the agents will show themselves. They can be your family members. They can be your friends. They can be your lovers. Once you get people used to a certain thing, and then you say no, watch them. Watch out when you start to say no. No, I don't have time for this. No, I can't do this. No, I'm so, cause you're out here and you're doing everything. You're tired. You're exhausted. And you're making plan after plan, and somebody else needs something, and somebody else needs something. You're giving. Don't let them guilt trip you. Because the Bible says, thou shalt love thy neighbors, and give and you receive, the meek shall inherit the earth. Bullshit. Sorry to say. Because if your cup don't overflow with, who gonna fill it? Honestly, I am so grateful for this time in my life, because can you imagine it being years down the line and I still have emotional ties to this person? I wouldn't have been able to get nothing done. I wouldn't have made it as far as I have at this time if I would have stayed in that situation, if I would have stayed around her, if I would have stayed in contact. Because this person, every chance they're gonna get, they're gonna try and take it as an opportunity to show other people, to put you down, to make themselves feel better, And again, it's for a lot of people, this is an ego trip. Power, control. So you gotta take away yourself. Last thing, it is my hope and my prayer that families start to come together and start to heal the wounds of the past, and really, like, not really, like real deal, not no surface level type stuff, like real deal. I apologize for what I did and who I was at the time, and really grow, because I feel like these stories are sad that I'm telling you, but they need to be told because ain't nobody telling them. All right? And division, you can't do this separate. We need to be together. Come on now. That's why the tariffs. Come on.